life that grew me into a better person was when I had my miscarriage.
I knew you was gonna say that.
And I believe that it was pivotal because, we had gotten married. We had raised my eldest son.
God bless.
Damian Jr. And, we were going along in our life and we decided to have another child. And I was 3 months pregnant. And then one day I went to work and some things didn't feel right. Some things didn't look right. And I think that is the only time in my life that I have cried for 24 hours straight. I did not know that the human body could produce tears for that long period of time. But I guess the reason I'm saying it grew me up because we had our family, and it's like you get attached, you start growing, you start feeling things. And I remember when I went to a particular hospital in our area that was not equipped to deal with my situation because they don't have maternity ward. I never realized like seconds felt like hours felt like days. And I remember I'm coming back in the room after they did the ultrasound. We didn't see any movement, we didn't feel any movement. I didn't, it was just a very bad situation. And that night was the night that I think everybody was in the hospital, and they took a priority over me. And it was sad because it was like I could not stop. All I remember is crying forever. And then we get home that night, and I had to have a C-section the next day. And I had to go to my doctor's office first, and she referred me to the hospital. Another hospital, and everything they had done the night before they had to do again. But the ironic part about it was I had to be taken upstairs to the mother baby ward to have the D&C done. And that was the most hurtful part because as I'm rolling past these rooms, I hear these babies crying, sounds of joy, knowing that it wasn't going to be like that for me. And I remember going into the sterile white operating room, and they couldn't find any other operating room other than a delivery room. And it was like, at that point in my life and in my husband's life, I believe we were young parents when we had Dana, because we were in our early 20s. And by the time I had the other baby, probably was around 27 or something like that. And it was like, I had no complications with my first child. And then here we have no child or anything. And we come home that night before, and it was like, just, what can you do? What can you say? What was it? And you question, but you don't question. Because in our life, we're taught to have a strong belief in God. But nothing made sense at that moment. And I guess it grew me up because you just gotta get up out of the ashes and go on. And then a couple of years later, I was blessed with my very girly girl, tomboy, rambunctious, mouthy, so sweet answer to my prayers, daughter Alexis Denate. But even through that transition of losing the one baby and just kind of growing up, you go through periods of depression, different things. God eventually brings you full circle, and He grants you your wish for another baby. I mean, I had 2 kids, 12 years apart, and I wouldn't have it any other way because I was able to raise my son and enjoy him. And now that he's gone to college, I'm enjoying my daughter. And it's like raising 2 different generations of children because I have one in first grade and one in college. So I'm going to PTA meetings and then, getting grades about finals and, information about college on the other hand. And that's cool. But God always has a plan for our lives, and we just have to just learn to lean and depend on Him, and sometimes just go beyond the questions and really just trust.
Thank you for your time.